We met again at a funeral. 20 years had passed. 20 years of separate lives, separate spouses, separate fates. But the moment I saw her, that crooked smile, the way she held her hands, it was like time folded in half. She was the girl I loved in college. The one I was supposed to marry. But life had other plans. And now, as we stood by the same gravesite, I realized something that changed everything. She never stopped loving me either. Belle, if you're new here, hit subscribe to hear more powerful, emotional true stories like this one. Each week, we share stories that feel like a movie, and this one? It still breaks me. Background: 1999, Virginia, USA. We were both seniors at James Madison University, Lisa Porter and me, Eric Delaney. Lisa wasn't the loudest girl in the room, but she had that energy that made people lean in when she spoke. The kind of calm confidence that didn't need to be announced. We met in Philosophy 402, a seminar on ethics and morality. Lisa sat by the window, always early, always with a coffee in hand. I sat in the back. Classic introvert move. But one rainy Thursday, the professor assigned partners for a debate on utilitarianism. She was mine. That day changed everything. We spent 3 weeks preparing, meeting in cafes, under the trees on campus, even staying past closing time in the library. But it wasn't just about arguments and counterpoints. It was the way she looked at me when I said something clever. It was the way we laughed about books no one else had read. It was how we'd stop walking just to talk for another hour. By the end of those 3 weeks, we weren't just partners, we were quietly, completely in love. But we never made it official. Not then. Her family was conservative, old-school military background. Mine was fractured. Dad left when I was 10, and Mom worked double shifts just to keep us afloat. We were from different worlds, but we made our own one together. Until graduation day. Her parents came to town. Her father met me, shook my hand, and later told her privately, "He's not your future, Lisa." Just like that, the foundation cracked. She cried the night before we both left campus. Told me she loved me. Told me she was scared. And then she disappeared. No number. No address. Nothing. For 20 years. Until now. Until this moment, standing under the gray Virginia sky at a mutual friend's funeral. And she's here. Lisa Porter. Now Lisa Carpenter. Wearing black. Holding a closed umbrella. And looking right at me. Small orange diamond. We didn't speak at the funeral. There were too many eyes, too many years between us, and too many emotions that didn't know where to land. But afterward, as people drifted away, I found her by the tree line where we used to study in college, the same spot we once swore we'd visit again one day. Lisa stood with her arms crossed, eyes on the horizon. "You cut your hair," she said without turning around. "You remembered that?" "I remember everything, Eric." That's when I knew the feelings hadn't faded. They'd just gone quiet. She turned, finally meeting my eyes. We were older. Lines on our faces. Weight of life in our postures. But something in her gaze felt exactly the same. Familiar. Safe. I almost didn't come today, she whispered. But when I saw your name in the memorial guest book, I had to. We sat on the bench. Neither of us said anything for a while. We just breathed in the moment. And then I asked what had haunted me for years. Why did you leave without saying goodbye? Her lips parted, but she looked down first. Because if I said goodbye, I would have never gone. And they would have made my life a living hell. My dad gave me an ultimatum. Leave you, or lose their support, my college funding, everything. I was scared. My throat tightened. I would have found a way. I would have fought with you. I know. But I didn't want you to have to fight for me. I thought I was doing the right thing. And then time just kept passing. She glanced at her hand, a thin gold ring still on her finger. Are you? Widowed. 3 years ago. He was kind, but it wasn't love. Not like us. She looked back at me. You? Divorced. 6 years. We just grew apart. We sat until the sun began to dip behind the trees. I still have that book you gave me, she said softly. The poetry one. Your handwriting's on the inside cover. I used to read it every birthday. I laughed through a choked breath. I used to Google your name every year, hoping you'd published something or, I don't know. Something. She smiled. I never stopped wondering what life would have been like if we stayed. Me too. When she stood to leave, she paused. Are you staying in town long? Couple of weeks. Visiting my mom. Helping with the house. She scribbled something on the back of the funeral program. Then let's not lose 20 more years. Call me. Please. And just like that, she walked away again. But this time, she left the door open. Small Orange Diamond. It was a small Italian place off Route 29, the kind of place with dim lighting, cracked leather booths, and a piano that hadn't been tuned in a decade. Lisa suggested it. Said she used to come here with her son. That sentence alone, her son, made something twist in my chest. A life I wasn't part of. Years I couldn't get back. She was already seated when I arrived. Same smile. But this time, softer. No wall. Just eyes full of something I couldn't read yet. Thanks for coming, she said. I wouldn't have missed it. We ordered wine. Pasta. Told stories about college, shared awkward updates about our grown-up lives. She told me about teaching literature. How she loved her students, even if the school district was always a mess. How she had a dog named Salinger. How she still wrote poetry, sometimes. I never stopped writing either, I admitted. But nothing serious. Mostly journals. I'd read every word, she said. Still would. Halfway through dinner, her hands trembled as she reached into her purse. She slid an old, faded photo across the table. A boy. About 16. Light brown hair. Sharp eyes. A crooked smile I recognized. This is Adam. My son. I swallowed. He looks like you. Silence. Everything else faded. The clatter of silverware. The hum of conversation. The world narrowed to that photograph and the sound of my pulse in my ears. Lisa. He's yours, Eric. I never told you. And I know how much that cost us both. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I needed you to know. I stared at her. Not angry. Not hurt. Just stunned. All these years. A son. My son. Does he know? Not yet. I wanted to wait until I saw you again. Until I knew you still, that you were safe. Stable. Someone he could be proud of. I looked down at the photo again. What's he like? She smiled. Smart. Stubborn. Witty. He loves film and wants to be a director. He's got your sarcasm and your love for Hitchcock. My chest ached. But not in pain. In awe. Can I meet him? She hesitated. Then nodded. Yes. But slowly. On his terms. And only if you're ready. I am. I want to be. I want to know him. We left the restaurant and stood outside under the soft yellow glow of the street lamps. You should have told me, I said, not with anger, just truth. I know. I was afraid. Of judgment. Of ruining what little life he had. Of breaking the version of you I kept safe in my mind. You didn't ruin anything. You gave him everything. You did it alone. And I respect that more than I can say. She looked at me like she wanted to cry, but didn't. Instead, she reached out and held my hand. Let's not run from this. Not again. No more running, I said. And I meant it. Small orange diamond. It took a week. Lisa wanted to make sure Adam was in the right headspace. She talked to him carefully, gave him space, answered his questions honestly, or so she told me. I respected that. I didn't want to barge into a life that had functioned fine without me. But the wait was hard. I spent those days walking around my hometown, rereading old journals, wondering what I'd say if I saw him, if he'd even care. And then, one Sunday afternoon, I got the call. He said yes, Lisa told me. He wants to meet you. Today. They invited me to a quiet park on the east side. There was a picnic table under an oak tree, with a small trail leading to a pond where I used to fish with my uncle. I got there early. Wore a button-down I hoped didn't make me look like I was trying too hard. Brought a book in case I needed something to do with my hands. Then I saw them. Lisa walking beside a tall teenager with a skateboard under one arm and headphones around his neck. My heart thundered. He was taller than I expected. Lean. confident gait. But when he got closer, I saw it, the same slightly crooked smile I had at his age. "Hey," he said. "Hey," I replied. "Thanks for coming." He nodded. Not cold, just cautious. We sat. Lisa stayed nearby but didn't hover. "So, you're a writer?" he asked. "Yeah. Mostly ghostwriting and freelance now. Used to want to publish a novel." "That's cool. I like stories. I want to direct movies. Your mom told me." "Got a favorite?" "Kubrick, but I'm more into Jordan Peele lately. I like suspense with layers. Stuff you have to watch twice." I smiled. "Then we've got a lot to talk about." We talked for 2 hours. Not as father and son. Not yet. Just two strangers slowly drawing a line between them, one that might one day become a bond. He asked about college, about how Lisa and I met, about why I wasn't around. I told him the truth. No excuses. No drama. Just facts and regret. "I wish I'd known," I said. "I would have been there." He shrugged, but not dismissively. "It's weird. I'm not mad. I just don't know what to feel." "That's okay. We don't have to figure it all out today." When they left, he gave me a quick hug. Awkward. Half shoulder. But a hug. "See you around?" he asked. "Whenever you're ready," I said. Lisa lingered as he walked ahead. "That went better than I hoped," she whispered. "He's incredible. You did an amazing job." She smiled through glassy eyes. "We both did. In our own way." I watched them walk away. And for the first time in years, I didn't feel like something was missing. I felt whole. Speech balloon if this story moved you, like and comment below. Would you reconnect with someone from your past if fate gave you a second chance? Bell subscribe for weekly emotional stories based on true life twists, for fans of karma, healing, and quiet redemption. Memo.